Keisha Turner didn't step off the bus at Franklin High School expecting a warm welcome. She stepped into a minefield. A black teenager in a mostly white suburban town. She felt the weight of every stare, every whisper, before she even reached the front doors. This wasn't Atlanta, where she'd grown up. This was Willow Creek, Ohio, where smiles often hid sharper edges. At 16, Keisha carried herself with the quiet strength of someone who'd spent years training in martial arts not to fight, but to never feel afraid. What she didn't know was that her arrival would spark a firestorm, exposing a town's buried truths and forcing a reckoning that no one saw coming. It was her first day, and the red brick halls of Franklin High buzzed with the usual chaos of a new school year. Keisha kept her head down, her hoodie loose, her steps deliberate. She'd learned from her sensei in Atlanta. Presence first, reaction second. But the air shifted as she passed. Conversations paused. Eyes lingered. By the trophy case near the entrance, a group of boys led by Jake Larson, a senior with a quarterback's swagger, watched her. They got their schools where she's from, don't they? Jake's voice carried just far enough. His friends, Ethan Cole and Ryan Baxter, laughed too loudly, signaling their control. Keisha heard it all, but kept walking. She'd heard worse. Still, the sting was sharper here, where no one flinched. Her mother, Dr. Angela Turner, had warned her. "This town's different," she'd said, gripping the steering wheel tightly as they'd pulled into their new driveway days earlier. People smiled, but it's not always kind. Keisha had nodded, not because she agreed, but because she already knew. The realtor's tight-lipped courtesy, the neighbor's half-hearted waves, the cashier who asked if they were just visiting, all signs of a place that evaluated her before knowing her. At her locker, tucked in a dim corner of the West Wing, Keisha met Jake again. "Lost?" he asked, leaning against the metal with a grin that never reached his eyes. "Not much flavor around here." His tone dripped with mockery. Keisha didn't look up. "I'm fine," she said flatly, shutting the door. Jake repeated her name Keisha like he was testing it, then sauntered off. But the warning was clear. She was on their radar. By lunch, the tension thickened. Keisha sat alone, a turkey sandwich untouched, scanning the cafeteria from the corner of her eye. Jake and his crew approached, Jake adjusting his baseball cap backward. "Liking our town?" he asked, his voice casual but laced with menace. "Quiet's good. Peaceful. Everyone knows their place." Ethan smirked. Ryan cracked his knuckles for effect. Jake leaned closer. "New folks sometimes need orientation. A small fee insurance, to keep things smooth. Lockers don't jam. Homework doesn't vanish." Keisha met his gaze, her expression unreadable. "I'll be fine," she said, her voice steady. Jake's smile flickered, but he recovered. "Just looking out for you. Some people need to learn the hard way." The next week, it escalated. Keisha opened her locker to find it ransacked, books torn, lunch smeared across the floor. Jake leaned against the wall, smirking. "Forgot how things work here, Turner," he called. Keisha knelt, gathering her things with deliberate calm, her fingers trembling not from fear but restraint. At home, she retreated to the basement, where a punching bag and foam mats waited. Barefoot, she moved through her form's block, strike, re-channeling the day's sting into focus. Her sensei's words echoed, "Power isn't volume. You move where they least expect." In English class, the discussion of To Kill a Mockingbird turned ugly. Ethan raised his hand. Back then, people didn't know better. "Can't blame them for how things were." Ryan chimed in. "Yeah, you can't hold white folks accountable for their great-grandparents." The teacher stayed silent. Jake leaned toward Keisha, whispering, "It's just history." But Keisha knew this wasn't his story. It was now, polished and unchecked. Then came the setup. Jake, Ethan, and Ryan recorded Keisha's response to a class question about racism, editing her words into a lie. A distorted clip blasted through the school's speakers. "The system protects the accuser because he's white and destroys the accused because he's black." Stripped of context, it painted her as hateful. By lunch, it was viral, titled "Franklin's New Girl Hates White People." Comments flooded in. "Send her back. All lives matter." Keisha stood frozen as a classmate played it in her face. "They cut it," she whispered. "Doesn't matter now," the girl shrugged. At home, Angela watched the video, her face hardening. "This is defamation," she said. Keisha nodded. "They want me angry. I won't give them that." Instead, she documented every stamps, screenshots, Jake's smirks, Ryan's recording habits. She sent an anonymous email to Principal Daniels, attaching evidence of harassment. Meanwhile, a quiet ally emerged, Sarah Mitchell, a white junior with a knack for video editing. Sarah had recorded the full class discussion. "I've got the real context," she told Keisha. They crafted a video, Truth versus Lie, showing Keisha's full quote beside the fake clip. By morning, it had 10,000 views, sparking outrage and support. But the worst was yet to come. One morning, Keisha found a banana taped to her locker, a note scrawled beneath, "Welcome to the jungle." Jake's initial J marked the corner. He stood down the hall, smirking, as phones recorded. Keisha didn't flinch. "Work on your handwriting," she said loudly, snapping a photo. "Sloppy lettering's easy to trace." The crowd murmured, some laughing nervously. She bagged the note and banana as evidence, turning Jake's trap into her weapon. The climax came after a fake text lured Keisha to the back lot. Jake, Ethan, and Ryan waited, phone streaming live. "Jungle Girl thinks she can school us," Jake taunted. They circled, expecting her to snap. Instead, Keisha moved 3 precise strikes in seconds. A kick sent Ryan stumbling, a sweep dropped Jake, and a back fist stunned Ethan. She stood calm, unharmed, as they groaned. "You were recording?" she said, eyeing Jake. "Good." Unbeknownst to them, her hidden GoPro had captured every slur, every threat. That night, Keisha and Sarah uploaded the footage. Black Girl Outsmarts Racist Ambush. It exploded 50,000 likes, comments from across the country. At school, the narrative shifted. Students clapped for Keisha in the halls. A petition to hold Jake's crew accountable gained 800 signatures. But the Cutler family, Jake's wealthy parents, fought back. They filed assault charges, painting Keisha as a trained aggressor. Principal Daniels, swayed by donations, pressured her to stay quiet. The trial was a spectacle. Attorney Laura Hayes presented Keisha's evidence, while Jake's lawyer, Victor Grant, argued her martial arts made her dangerous. Witnesses Marcus Tate, Sarah, and others testified to Jake's bullying. In a stunning twist, Ryan confessed, "It was a setup. We wanted her expelled." The courtroom gasped. Judge Ellen Ramsey cleared Keisha, ordering an investigation into Jake and his crew for conspiracy and harassment. Keisha's victory rippled. Schools reviewed bullying policies, victims spoke out. She launched Stand Tall, a program teaching kids to reclaim their strength, not through fists but through resolve. Hundreds joined, including former bullies seeking redemption. A letter from a boy in Louisiana, saved from despair by her story, moved Keisha deeply. She wrote back, building a bridge with her words. By semester's end, Franklin High's halls felt lighter. A mural of United students, captioned "Stand Tall," adorned the courtyard. Keisha walked out the doors, not as a victim, but as a leader. Her restraint had sparked a movement, proving silence isn't PC, it's a choice. Justice, when it speaks, echoes loudest in the hearts of those who stand. What moment in Keisha's journey hit you hardest? How do you view violence and injustice in our world? Does standing up always mean fighting back? Or is there power in restraint? Share your thoughts below. Let's debate and dig into what justice means.